On Wednesdays at 7, sharp as can be, Blue Gal's calling, come knit with me.
Hey guys, Blue Gal here. Nice to see you. It's been like 14 days, like 2 weeks or so since I've been on. And I've got a lot of knitting to show you. I'm recording from my living room today because I just felt like it. My husband and I recorded our Thursday political podcast today because he's going to be on another podcast tomorrow. So I'm a little bit not discombobulated, but just running on several concurrent tracks, I guess is the way to put it. But I have a lot of knitting to finish to show you and some things to talk about. First of all, I'm going to show you the finished object of the beautiful Eat the Rich hat. This is Knit Picks palette in 2 shades of green, clover and edamame, and it turned out great. It just, middle child loves it. This is a free pattern. It was fairly easy to do. A little skull in there, and it fits her. I just did a top knot, finished it, and this was on size 2 needles. And free pattern, so it's linked below. It didn't take long, took a week or so, 10 days, 9 days I would say it took. And then I, on the 15th of the month, got started on the socks for August. And the Grocery Girls theme, I participate in the Grocery Girls Sock Bash every month. I'm going to take a couple months off because I knit 3 pair of socks in July. So September and October, I'm not going to participate. But the theme, there's always a theme every month. And the theme for August is In the Garden. And I am using a discontinued yarn. Isn't this beautiful? This is Monet's Garden from Knitwit. And I used some, Knitwit does minis that are called, what are they called? Gumballs. And they are 13 gram, 45 yard minis. I didn't think I would have enough to do a full heel, so I did half a heel in the light purple, red purple, and dark purple for the toe. And this colorway of Monet's Garden, discontinued, of course, but so lovely. First sock done. I like the planned pooling, the stripes that go down the bottom of the sock. This pattern, this is sort of the pattern in my head, but I was inspired by the Lee socks, which is by Deb Buckingham. Similar rib. She did kind of an umbrella toe. I did a flat toe, but it's the same. The 1x1 ribbing at the top and a 3x1 rib down the front of the foot. So a nice way to use up minis is to get color blocks going. And this was Marianne yarn. Marianne is a member of my guild who passed away. I call her Marianne. And she had a tremendously large stash of yarn and left it to us at the guild. So when we knit with her yarn, we always mention that we did. And so this with these gumballs was in a bag. And I think Marianne was planning at some point to make a shawl out of them, but I really like the socks. I think the socks are great. So sock 1 is done, and I'm going to start the second sock. You have to have it done by the end of the month. The rules are a pair of socks, adult socks in a month, 5-inch leg. I think they have to be fingering weight. Every once in a while they'll have a theme that includes DK weight yarn. So I think it is fingering weight. And then I sponsor on Blue Sky second sock week. So here's second sock week. Finish the second sock in a pair. starting Sunday, August 24th, we'll all be knitting together for a week, finishing a second sock. So if you want to join me on Blue Sky, hashtag sec2nd sock KAL, I'll be posting my progress on the second sock. And that's just a nice thing to end off the month and finish that sock in time. I had time between finishing the Eat the Rich hat and casting on the sock, and so I did an oddball hat. And this is not Marianne yarn. This is yarn that was donated to my church. And it is this is just a hat I made up as I went along. I did a knit 2 purl 2 size 2 needles, knit 2 purl 2 for 5.5 inches or whatever. Then I did 5 rows of stockinette and alternated. I did knit 2 purl 2, knit 1 round, and knit 2 purl 2, then 5 rounds of stockinette again, just to give it a little texture, just to kind of give some purl bumps on there. This yarn, this company, I have several skeins of this yarn, but this is the only fingering weight one I have. The other ones are kind of a heavy worsted. This yarn is, what is it? It's called High Prairie Fibers. And I put some, now I don't know if this color is showing off. This is actually a pink Shetland that I put on the bottom, but the rest of it is all the High Prairie Fibers. And they, I think, stopped making yarn during COVID. We're going to have a tough time, I got to say, with getting yarn and figuring out our supply. We're going to have to shop our stash for a while, I think, because of tariffs. And I said on Blue Sky today, there were 4 that came across my screen today saying we're not shipping to the States anymore. They'll be back. They'll be back. But so I'll tell you about this hat. I knit this hat and I cut the yarn and pulled out some of this purple because I wanted a purple top knot like I did with the Eat the Rich hat. I wanted to do a little I-cord and then tie it in a knot. That's what I do. And I did that and I got the purple, put the purple in, and I did the I-cord and worked the yarn from the I-cord down through the I-cord and tied it in a knot. And this was Saturday morning. And I looked at it like this, and I had dropped about 5 or 6 stitches right along here, and they just all unraveled, and I just went, and I literally started to cry. I was just like, this is not happening. And then I just went, okay. And I grabbed a pair of scissors, and I cut off that purple, just snipped it, and got everything, ripped it out, got everything back on the needles, ripped out about 7 rows, and went to my drawer and found a pom-pom, because forget it. This is either a college kid or a charity hat. This is not worth crying over. No crying and knitting. Oh no, there's crying and knitting. There is crying and knitting. So I finished the sock, and I didn't want to start the second sock. I'm really trying to manage my approach to what project I'm working on within the calendar month. So this idea of a second sock week at the end of the month means I'm not knitting socks all the time. And I wait to have the reward of knitting that second sock until the end of the month, and I work on other things up to that point. And it has been very helpful to kind of keep me working on things that are not as kind of endorphin rushing like a sock is. A sock, you get the cast on rush, you get the cast off rush, you get the heel rush. It's, it's all fun. And so what I've been working on in the meantime is just this very calming, I've shown this to you before, very calming t-shirt for my middle child. Stockinette, right? on size 2.5 needles, lovely Chow needles. This is Barocco Remix Light, which is a very cottony yarn. It has a lot of drape, and it's just very relaxing to knit in stockinette. I've been doing audiobooks and just knitting along with that, knowing that on Sunday I'm going to set this aside and knit a sock. And the other thing I found, I was grabbing bags out of my, UFO pile because I'm trying to finish UFOs, and I found that I cast this on so many times, and I finally decided, to heck with that, I'm going to make a seed stitch cowl. This is Asylum Fibers Merino Bulky in colorway Off with Her Head. And it's just seed stitch. It's size 8 needles. And I had cast it on. I got this yarn in the bag that came with the Stitch Up Chicago convention last April. And the woman who owns Asylum Fibers was there, and she's a very lively, lovely person and has great colorways. This is going to be such a great Christmas project, Christmas thing to wear. And so I tried to make a cowl that had ribbing on the bottom and then stockinette, and of course it flipped up. And I just realized the only thing to do with this is do some seed stitch. And it lies flat. Seed stitch lies flat. That's the lovely thing about seed stitch. And I really used the full skein. It's a 100-gram skein, and I weighed this. This is 98.5 grams. So I bound off at the, with this much left, whatever it was. And I love it. I'm very, very happy with it. It just goes to show you that a simple project with the right yarn, and it's so cushy. I wish you could feel it. It's just like very soft and a beautiful color, and I'm really happy with it. And I found a shawl. I'm not going to show it to you. I pulled it out, and it's not right. But I am. All right, I'll show it to you. This shawl I started in 2011, okay? It's by Mercedes Tarasovich Clark, called Ayana. And I knit it in Dale Tiur and a novelty skein of green and cream and blue. And then I found the blue that matched and a green that matched the colors in this yarn up here, this novelty yarn. Really like the texture. The Dale Tiur is very soft. This is just some Shetland wool. Needs to be blocked, of course. But now I'm getting to the point of the perpendicular lace. And the yarn I picked is not right. It's not working, and I don't like it. And so what I'm going to do is put a garter ridge of this green on here and put it on 2 needles so that I can wrap it around myself and just see if I can mark it so that I have enough yarn of this gray that I could actually put sleeves on this and make it a sweater. It might be too much. There might be too much fabric there, but it could be a poncho also. But I'm going to see about, I like the idea of making it longer, and I like the idea of being able to wear it with, they have this thing called a swancho, which is a big wide thing with just little sleeves on it. And I'm going to try to convert this. There's a lot of effort into this, but I realized that 12 years ago when I started this in 2011, really, 2011, that I didn't know how to finish things. I just didn't know myself. I didn't have enough confidence in myself as a knitter to sit down and enough discipline to sit down and knit something. like this and finish it. And now I do. So that is progress. That feels really good. Uh, this colorway is a club colorway from 2015. So this yarn's 10 years old. And somebody donated this yarn. So we have old yarn in our stashes, don't we? One thing that came to me this week that I really appreciated was an article by Anne Shane in Modern Daily Knitting, where she writes about how gardening is like knitting. And I think that having a yarn stash is like having a garden. And I've been thinking a lot about weeding and pruning and cultivating, which is finishing projects or finding that skein and just working on it and making it something beautiful. And how that analogy works. And it's really important for me, and I'm sure for lots of people, to putter in the garden of your yarn stash. And so I have been doing that this week. Really just kind of hanging out with my stash and looking at it and looking at boxes. And there's been, there's a lot going on with my guild. There's a sale going on, and there's a yarn store opening in Springfield, Illinois, and at the end of August, which I will tell you about when it opens. It's called Extra Yarn. No, this is extra yarn. This is not just your stash. There's also extra yarn at the yarn store. You can go get it. So spending time with your stash, and I've been doing that to find. I have many opportunities over the course of the rest of the year to donate yarn I'm not going to use, and so I'm taking advantage of that. And I just think it's essential to our time as artists, as yarn artists, to cultivate our crop of yarn. And that does mean weeding. That does mean looking at something and saying, oh, that's not me anymore, or I don't need that, or someone else will knit that. Couple more things. One more thing, I should say. I want to do a shout out and say how much I appreciate the much larger knitting blog, Allie Makes Everything. She is a young woman from Canada. She's an independent graphic designer who does big, long YouTubes about sweaters she makes and how much they cost and so forth. If you're not familiar with her, you should go and see Allie Makes Everything. She's lovely. And she does really long video blogs that are great to knit to. The interesting thing is I don't think I've seen on any of her vlogs that she knits for anyone but herself. I might be wrong about that, but I think it seems to me the theme of her show is I knit for me. And this is where I'm going to wear it, and this is how often I'm going to wear it. And she does a cost per wear analysis because her sweaters are expensive. But she finished a cardigan last week, the Lakes cardigan, I think it's called, and talked about it. And then she moved on to non-knitting things, to talk about non-knitting things. And this really struck me. She talked about removing decisions from her life by just doing the thing every day. And in her instance, she meant yoga class. Now, that's not my thing to do every day, but she was pointing out, if you just say, look, the need to decide to go to yoga class is just burdensome, so I'm just going to go every day. It removes the decision-making process, and you just go and get it done, and everyone has their own thing of what yoga class is. For me, as I thought about it, the thing I really wanted to do in my life was start getting to bed earlier. Because one night last week, I was up until 12:30, and there was no reason for that. at all, and it was bad for me to do that. And so I've been thinking about going to bed at a reasonable time. And so I have been, since that time, getting to bed by 11 and sometimes earlier. And I still have some tweaks to make because I get up too early, but that's not actually a bad thing. And so the other thing that I felt I really needed to button down and do every day was write in a journal. And so I've been doing that consistently since Saturday. And it just has really helped me to sort of discipline. Discipline isn't a dirty word, but just like, okay, here are some things that I need to really do every day as an adult. Things that make my life better. So I tossed that out there. I really appreciated Allie saying that. And I have been doing a little bit of decluttering every day. Also, I have been watching, in addition to Allie Makes Everything, the space making videos on YouTube. If you haven't seen those, search space making, the space making system or process. I can't remember what it's called, but does a lot of videos from around the world talking about cleaning. I mean, she cleans out people's houses with their cooperation and also with a lot of gentleness. And so one of the things I did this past 2 weeks was go around the house, and I don't have piles of clothes everywhere. I'm someone who found a uniform a long time ago as a mom that was the black pants trick. Do you know the black pants trick? The black pants trick is you wear black pants every day. Land's End makes good ones. Other places make good, knit black pants, and then any top that goes with it. And no one notices that you're wearing black pants to work every day if you just put black pants on. So the black pants trick is something I learned when I was student teaching. The teacher who taught me it when I was student teaching said, that black pants trick, no one notices ever that you're always wearing black pants. So I got into a uniform as a mom of black pants, and sometimes it's a fancier top, sometimes it's just a, denimish type top, but don't waste time with a lot of other clothes. Just black pants and a top. And so I don't have a lot of clothes problems. A lot of the people on the YouTube, the space saving, have mountains and mountains and mountains of clothes, and shoes. I have one pair of shoes that I wear every day. So I have become a minimalist about clothes. The thing that is my problem is books and to be read piles. And so I went around my house and gathered all of the books that were in stacks around my house and put them all on the dining room table. And now I'm cleaning out bookcases to find space for them and organizing around. I'm being very gentle with myself, but I'm organizing around, okay, I'm going to have a shelf and a space for books that I know I want to read next year. And that's helpful. And I've been doing books on tape since, this is the thing, is like, it really does transform your life to figure out, let's just make every day consistent. I'm going to read every day. I'm going to write every day. I'm going to get to bed by 11 and just really regiment and simplify my life. That it's been really, really helpful. Fewer decisions. I always end with reading something, and I'm going to read this because I thought it was hilarious. It's not a long thing, but I've been knitting this little t-shirt in stockinette on 2.5s, and it's been very relaxing. And I was looking at the much beloved Barbara Walker, Second Treasury of Knitting Patterns, and seeing, one of the things when you're looking at knitting books, go read the introduction. You can find a lot of treasure in there, but this just cracked me up. And when did she write this? This is 1998. So this is 27 years old. And she wrote in 1998, there is no reason to spend the time and care of hand knitting on a garment of stockinette stitch. It is a waste of both. Really? And I she's got this, what is this, 400-page book. If you're not familiar, Barbara Walker has 3 or 4 of these. I have them all. Knitting patterns. Just 400 pages of 2-color patterns, lace patterns, and she's got editions. This is the second treasury, but there's a first treasury and a third and fourth treasury. And I know the fourth treasury is shorter than the other 3, but it's a waste of time to knit stockinette garments, she said in 1998. Think times have changed. I think that's it. You look at my notes and make sure. Don't forget about Second Sock Week. If you are in the process of knitting socks, here's a challenge and a knit along on Blue Sky. And I am on Blue Sky as at bluegal.bksy.social. Blue Gal. And feel free to follow me and tag me and let me know you're there, and I'll follow you back and all that. And I will see you next time.
On Wednesdays at 7, sharp as can be, Blue Gal's calling, come knit with me.